Morning, everybody. Welcome to daily vlog number 4. What a beautiful, beautiful day. So today, with a little bit of luck, we might start harvest today. It all depends on how dry the beans are. What I am going to do is once the dew burns off, I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut into some beans and get a moisture test. And providing the moisture test is good, then we're going to start cutting. And usually the first day, at least the first half of the day of harvest is a little slow because of the fact that you got to dial in the machine. Every year and every crop is a little bit different. You don't want to blow too many beans out the back, and you don't want to get too much trash inside the tank. So, I mean, you got to find a happy balance there. And so it's a lot of cut a little bit, stop, get out, check the... I don't know why that just shut off, but at any rate, it's a lot of checking and setting things up and getting your rotor speed and your sieve set and things like that. But we once we get all that dialed in, then it's just mowing stuff down. I am going to throw some bottles of water in the refrigerator in the combine because, well, that's handy to have. And yes, the combine has a refrigerator in it. I'll show you here in a second. I can't have this in my hand and you in the other hand and climb up, you know, that ladder. All right inside the combine, this is what they call the buddy seat. Back in the day, it was the banker's chair. They put these in because the banks, when farmers would finance a new combine, the banks didn't understand why the machine costs so much money. So they put this little chair here so the bankers could ride with the farmers and see why they needed this expensive piece of equipment. And then since then it's turned into a buddy seat so you can have kids or family or friends or whatever ride with you. But anyway, right underneath the buddy seat is my refrigerator. It's a little dirty, but don't look at that. Perfect. I also, when I'm into harvest season like this or get into planting season and stuff like that, I usually carry my cooler with me with my lunch in it, and my wife calls them tractor snacks, but in this case it's going to be combine snacks. I have that stuff in there with me. I have a little bag that I carry with me that has camera mounts in it. It's got a bunch of different like magnet mounts and the clip-on gooseneck mount and things like that, so you guys can have different views of the combine as it's running. I had a little time this morning to before the dew, while I was waiting for the dew to burn off, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to change oil in my truck, change the fuel filter, change the air filter, because it's all dew. Change the oil, everything's fine. Change the air filter, everything's fine. Went to change the fuel filter, and apparently the last time I changed the fuel filter, I got it on there just a little snug, because it requires a 36 millimeter socket to change the fuel filter, and I don't have a 36 millimeter. I've always used 1.5 inches with a rag shoved in there to take up the gap. Well, yeah, she's on there a little too tight right now, so it's not coming off like it should. So now I'm on my way to the store to buy a 36 millimeter socket so I can change my fuel filter, and then we could probably try some beans. You guys okay? I just got out of the truck and dropped the camera. Anyway, I got my socket, so now I can change the fuel filter on this thing, and should be able to try some beans. All right, fuel filter's changed. Let me show you this. See that? That's supposed to be white. That's how nasty diesel fuel is. All right, where I'm gonna clean up my mess here and then go out and bite into some beans and see where they're at. I don't know. They're close, but I don't think they're quite ready for me to stab into yet. I think I'm gonna give them a couple more hours to dry. It's gonna be 80 degrees today, little breeze, full sun, there's not a cloud in the sky. So these beans will dry down extremely fast. So I think if I just give them 2 more hours, I think I should be able to stab into some with the machine and see where they're at. Let's go try some beans. That's 2 acres down. Moisture's running around 14.3, so it's like it's right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and run them. You want to get the moisture below 15, and they are below 15, so that's why I'm gonna run them. I got to drop the head and move back into that bigger field in the back and see where they're at. I've been having a little bit of issues dialing the head in, so I'm hoping that we got her dialed in now. It's the reel speed. I'm getting a lot of shatter out of the head, which shatter is when the reel comes around and hits the pod and then knocks the bean out of the pod onto the ground before it can get into the head. So I slowed my reel speed down. The reel is that thing that spins around pulling the grain into the crop into the head. I slowed that down in hopes of reducing the shatter that's going on. First load going in the grain cart. Well, I already had my first breakdown. I broke the cutter bar. So now I got to splice it back together so I can keep running. Garbage. Now that I've got all the components off, you can see it a little better. So I'm going to put you guys in time lapse, and I'll show you putting it back together. Whew, I don't know about you, but after working that fast, I'm tired. Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, now we fire this thing up and get back to cutting beans. Now the splice kit is just a temporary fix until we can get a new cutter bar. But it's handy to have, that's for sure. Now we just got to do that like 400 more times. Alright guys, I got the semi-full. Grain cart is full and parked in the barn. and the field's done back there. So now I got to go on this long walk way over there by the tree line to go get my truck. Garbage. But at any rate, we have officially started harvest. So there's going to be more footage tomorrow. You know, daily vlog and all. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.